Sada Baby. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I mean, I'm doing pretty good, to be honest. Like, I've been living kind of a slower lifestyle the past year or so. So the coronavirus hasn't been the biggest change for me. I ain't really been outside that much lately, so I don't feel like a huge change. How's it affecting you?
The only way it really affected me, like personally, is just my shows. Like a lot of the shows that I had already booked up had to get canceled and rescheduled because of social distancing.
Yeah, dude, I was so bummed because I had a sponsor who was paying for a show with, I'm not even going to say the lineup, but it was you and a couple of my other favorite Detroit artists.
Yep.
Beautiful. They were going to have all kinds of different porn stars out there for the show and everything. And then all of a sudden, this virus hits and is nothing. It's cold for the show. That hurt me deep down inside, man.
Yeah, they fucked up everything, man. I feel like I don't want to do no conspiracy theories, but yeah, man, I feel like this shit was on purpose for some odd reason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that's not true. But it feels like
Me too.
the crazy thing is that it feels like they're. I mean, everything's shut down, but still, the death toll keeps going crazy. Like, there's 50,000 worldwide. I looked at it the other day; it was 20,000. So it's ramping
Yeah,
up
we just
quick.
peaked. We at our peak in Michigan right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had our peak, and they telling us because we already had been on lockdown, but they telling us now like the virus done got stronger. So like this week coming up, like next week, they want everyone in Michigan to try to avoid leaving their house for anything.
yeah. I mean, what's really unfortunate about it too is that it's affecting poor communities a lot more than it is rich people. Like I was reading an article saying that Detroit in particular has been hit super hard because they just don't have the resources or the infrastructure to deal with it.
Yeah, and that's another thing about here. I assumed because they gave us the leniency to not pay bills and get extended. That was the forte for everybody in the country, but it wasn't. I had to do a little bit more research on it and see that we still had so much Section 8 housing and HUD housing that they just gave that to us. So like all the other states that have to work, I feel for them, but it's real rough here because the people who need to work can't work. You know what I'm saying? Even with the extensions, they still not telling people they bills free. It's just extensions.
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
So
They're
yeah,
gonna. It's wrong. Like you're not gonna be able to have all these people going bankrupt at the same time and just act like it's their fault. Like the government at a certain point is gonna have to step in and make this right.
they got to do something, man. They got to do something. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't have the luxury that per se I have, or like a Lil Yachty, or like any other rapper who has a fan base, who has a loyal fan base, is gonna keep streaming their music and keep just paying attention to them and basically feeding them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of people who have to go put in work for their money. Like they got to go punch in, they got to go cook food, they got to go clean up or some shit. I can literally sit on my ass for a year and still make music as long as you feel me, still make money as long as I'm making music.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the interesting thing is from your perspective, there's probably a lot of people like that you're associated with that are in the position that you were in a couple of years ago, or I don't know how long ago it was that you were broke. Let's be real. How long ago was it that you were broke?
About 3 or 4 years ago.
Shit, yeah. So I mean, do you see a lot of people who are really genuinely worried that they're not going to be able to afford food or rent or whatever, who are in a position you were in just 3, 4 years ago?
I don't say I don't personally have anybody that close to me that's doing that bad. And if I did have somebody that was doing that bad, I would, without no hesitation, would get them together. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have anybody that close that be getting hit hard like that. But for the people who are getting hit hard, that I wish I did know somebody to help. You know what I'm saying? Everybody who I feel had an idea of maybe not being able to handle what's going on, I done reached out and see if they need anything extra, and everybody been okay so far.
That's real right there. Have you like where you have all this time that normally you would be out touring, all out doing media, doing all kinds of different shit. What are
Facts.
you doing with that time now? You got any like video games or Netflix routines going on, or what's filling up the time? Oh shit,
2K,
what's that?
fucking 2K. I'm in the park. My
Oh, okay,
people waiting
there you
on me
go.
to join the wreck. This is all I'm doing. 2K, Call of Duty, anything, Rocket League, whatever I can find on fucking Xbox to keep my time going, and that's what I've been on, man. And smoking a lot of weed, smoking a shitload of weed.
I hear that. Yo, how much time do you really spend in the studio? Because you put out more music than almost anybody, and you're like pretty much without question one of the best people rapping. Like in your area of hip hop, like you go above and beyond every time you show up on a
Thank you.
track. True or false?
Thank you. True, true. In my opinion, the reason I say I per se go above and beyond with joining anybody track as well as my own is I always try to sound better and a little bit different than my last time. So say I'm in the studio and I recorded 2 songs so far. Off the first song, I mean off the second song, I tried to make that one not sound like the first one. And then at the third one, I'm trying to make it sound better than the first two and sound totally different at the same time.
Mm.
So I put a lot of effort into being different and to exploring every avenue that's possible for me to write something. You know what I'm saying? Like I try as much as I can to make as many words as I can rhyme with the previous bar. I think that effort really just helped me a lot because when I'm trying this hard, I end up saying some new shit damn near every time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, wait, so are you somebody who's doing a good amount of writing before you get in the booth? Because it feels like you have an attention to detail in your lyrics that you might not get from just punching in.
I might not necessarily. I don't physically write, so the most of the time when I go to the studio is because I heard something or I've been listening to something, and I want to go get there and try to duplicate it or try to make my own version of it. So not really. It's more so vibes. It's
Mm.
more so vibes. Like however I'm feeling. I cut the lights off when I record. I like the door closed. I don't like people in there talking about other shit. Like if you gonna be proof, I like proof. Like get your phone out or something, or fucking, or like pay attention to me. But the studio is big enough for somebody like y'all can go to the lounge if y'all want to kick it, like go talk and all that type of shit. But like when I'm in the studio, I like it quiet. I like to hear me. I like the lights off, and I go in the studio and I rehearse it in my head, and I record the whole song either one bar at a time, or sometimes 2 to 3 to 4 bars.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Do you feel like sometimes there's a lot of people in the rap game these days who it feels like they're putting in the least amount of work possible when they're doing a verse? Like it feels like you have a very different mentality where you're really like still trying to let the world know that you're doing something every time you come through. Like,
I think I think people get too big chains and then relax.
yeah,
Like that's the vibe I get nowadays from artists. I see artists get too big chains from the original kit. Like once I get the big chains, I'm still gonna have the same temperament. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's just me personally. I feel like people get their big jury, they get their chance to be around certain bigger artists, certain bigger circles. I feel like they get complacent and comfortable instead of still having that same veracity, that same tenacity, that same just hunger that got you to the big jury. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
I've been making money and going around the country for about 2.5 3 years now, like decent money and shit like that. But I ain't got to say the big break song or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like I still feel like my career is a day at a time, a fan at a time, a listener at a time, and I just go about it that way.
But is that something that's kind of in your head? Is that you're still like you're in a sort of interesting position in your career where you have like a crazy amount of respect from the real fans, the critics. You do stupid numbers on YouTube, but I'm sure you're kind of aware that if you were to have your first day out or your one big record that doesn't even necessarily need to, be like these days, it don't need to be some weird ass commercial record. It could just be like the perfect Sada Baby
Right.
song that goes stupid viral, whether it's because of a TikTok thing or whatever. Like, is that still sort of lurking in the back of your brain?
Always. Always. I tell people all the time, you'll be a lie to say that you a rapper and you not paying everything else. Not looking at everything else, not seeing the other respect that people get. You know what I'm saying? It just you just can't say, you can't say that. Like I know I look at I watch everybody, you know what I'm saying, whether they got to do it or not, you know what I'm saying, see what aspect I need to go harder at or what I need to do less of, anything, you know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to figure it out. In the same token, I'm boo with my position. I know I done worked and put my own leg work in any type of recognition I get. Like me being signed to T when I was signed to T, that's just what it was. Like that's all people knew. We didn't have no bunch of I wasn't getting pushed by him, none of that type of shit. So anything that I got off my own, I mean anything that I got going on is been on my own name and my work.
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's important though too. I think like if you're the kind of person who's willing to sit back and let somebody else guide their career, then you're going to have a certain kind of career. I mean, you don't strike me as the type of person who's going to have that energy. You strike me as the type of guy who really believes that he's like the CEO of his own business that he's building, and the music just happens to be the way that you're building this business right now. But I mean, I don't really see you as the kind of guy who's willing to just wake up and just be the guy who goes on stage and dances around for a half hour.
No, no, man. The position that I got myself in, as far as buying myself out of that deal and just keeping my consistent pressure up, this is what I wanted. This is what I needed. This is what how it's supposed to be. And like, it's ironic you say what you said, but I am the CEO of my own shit now. I feel like every big artist or every artist that has some type of sentiment value to the culture has went through the situation I went through with their first contract.
Yeah, there's almost nobody that's like happy with their first deal.
Yeah, yeah, like for sure, for sure. I thought I was, thought everything was right,
For
but
sure.
I'm good now.
Hey, did you see? I did a video with the Insane Clown Posse where I was showing them all different Detroit rappers, and I think you might be the one that they like the most.
You talking about the insane clown posse?
Yeah, I showed them like all these different Detroit rappers, and when I showed them, I think I showed them that song "Slide," and they
Yeah.
immediately were like, "Oh yeah, this is it. This guy knows what the fuck he's doing." They were super into it.
No, I gotta reach out, man. I'm inclined as much as I like to be. You know what I'm saying? It's still shit that I don't know about, but like motherfuckers like Insane Clown Posse, I know exactly who them niggas is. You feel me? And that's big for me. That's big for me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, that's dope. I was hyped on that because I mean it was funny seeing the stuff that they picked up on. Like they started to get like sort of agitated by the fact that everybody was having a big ass pile of money in every video, and I'm like, man, you guys just ignore that. That's just normal right now. Like everybody got a big pile of money in the video.
Yeah, people think that's the norm. Like, don't get me wrong, I got there's more than that videos of me with fucking piles of money, but I got so much more to offer than just money and guns on my video, man. So
Mm,
yeah, I try to show that.
definitely. Um, Yeah, so in terms of like the actual recording process though, like how much time are you putting in at a time like this? Like do you go off energy or do you feel like there's a lot of value from being in the studio for 8, 10 hours or whatever and just seeing what happens?
Man, right now, I am. Are you talking about like because of Corona, or are you just
Just
saying like in general?
just in general, because you put out so much music that it's like I wonder how much you're actually recording given that so much
Oh,
of
I
your
live in the
shit
studio.
seems to come out.
I live in the studio. Like I got a nice house now. I just like my private, and I don't know how to record myself, so I won't have an engineer come here and be spending the night in my fucking crib. You know what I'm saying? So when like when Corona wasn't going on, I spent anywhere from 5 hours in the studio to 10 to 12 hours in the studio, and well, like with no slack. Like I'm recording every hour on the hour. I'm not in there just going live and just smoking weed and kicking conversations. Like any given time, me go to the studio. At the minimum, I record 4 to 5 songs. At the minimum.
Uh-huh.
And if I do have a session where I'm in for like 8 hours, I for sure recorded over 10 songs. Like I don't do like a song per hour and shit like that. Like it just depends on the vibe I'm in. But if I'm in there for 8 hours, I'm for sure trying to get like 10 to 15 songs done. So I probably got about 500 to 400 unreleased songs.
Holy
400.
shit.
Yep.
And I'm
Both
do you,
for hard drives.
so when it comes time to shoot a video, do you usually have something newer that you're stoked on, or is it like, oh, I'm gonna pull this one out that nobody's even heard? Like, are you ever releasing stuff that you recorded like over a year ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of the shit, a few of the songs that I had just dropped on YouTube that had visuals to them. A few of them were anywhere from 6 months to a year old. Like the song with me and T Grizzley, the next up, that shit was a year old when we dropped it. Tien and Yamcha, when I dropped that shit was fucking 2 years old when I dropped it. Me myself in school was like 6 months old at the time I dropped it. Um, yeah, like that tends to happen a lot of times. Like I feel like me myself personally, I make a lot of timeless music, so I could record it. I could have recorded it a year or two ago, and I still could drop it now, and it still keep up with what's going on in current times.
Definitely. Yo, actually, I was thinking, I wanted to go back to something we were talking about earlier. It seemed like, because, you see a lot of younger rappers who they get into their first deal, they get mad at their first deal, they don't like the way it works out, and then they just like kind of wild out on the internet about it. It felt like, even if you felt like disgruntled or upset with the way that the situation turned out, T Grizzly, you kept it pretty cordial. It was almost like you're sort of like mature enough that you realize that to be polite about it or be professional about it would probably be good for you in the long run. True or false?
Um, I'm gonna say true, but I'm the reason why I didn't really file out or just set up an interview so I could talk about all his dirty secrets, tell the world about shit they never knew about him, and you know what I'm saying? Like that shit don't do nothing for me.
Mm.
Like me being who I am or having any type of positive aura around my name didn't come from me going live or going on the internet talking about other rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like at the time, like when the shit was fresh, everybody was speculating on what really happened. All I needed to say was that I bought myself out of the deal. Shit didn't work out, and that's that. Like the reason why shit didn't work out and like all the other like personal emotional reasons that tie into my decision, that ain't nobody business but me, his, my cousin Juan, who's been around and understand it, and JB, Red First Soul. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's not the place for the internet to be the third or the 7 millionth opinion on my situation. It's just not like that. And I watch other people go live and just and got a whole nother motherfucking name just in their mouth all day. In Detroit, we call that dick sucking.
Mm.
Like, bro, go talk to that man in real life. Go say something to me or call him or something. You talking to him, at him, about him on the internet instead of talking to him. And that shit don't score you no points for real. That shit don't get you no type of gratitude in the hood. No, none of that. It sound like a female. That's catty shit. That's what girls do. Argue in front of an audience for extra opinions and shit like that.
Yeah, totally. Because you see a lot of people who end up basically doing bitch ass shit in the industry because there's like a reward for doing bitch ass shit. Like if you go and do an interview and you air out all kinds of crazy details, then you get to be the
Right,
guy that
like
everybody talks about for a little
yeah.
bit.
For like a week, and then they go back to listening to the weekend because he's not in the headlines and he still got great music. And they go back to listening to Lil Uzi because he's not in the headlines and he got great music. They go back to listening to fucking Chris Brown because he done kept himself out of the headlines for some odd time and he got great music. You will only be what did I say? You will be a fad. You feel me? Only here for a second. You know what I'm saying? Like fanny packs in the '80s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
You would be here for a little while, but in the long run, we going back to wearing book bags. You know what I'm saying? In the long
right.
run, we letting females carry purses. You know what I'm saying? We don't need no damn fanny pack on. You know what I'm saying?
Like
It's just
it,
it's only for that time that you're gonna be steamy. Like Young Chop right now. You doing all that right now, and I love chop. You feel me? And when you do what you doing, as far as all the internet attention and shit like that, and then you drop a CD, what do you think the public feel like?
Hmm.
You took the 6ix9ine approach to getting some press, starting problems with people you didn't have problems with, and it just ain't the way to go. It's just not the way to go.
Yeah,
You
because
get turned off by people like that.
I mean, like realistically, 10 years from now,
Yeah,
financially, your situation is going to be better off 10 years from now if you are loyal to who you actually are as a person. And if you don't take the.
I'm listening to you, baby.
That was hilarious. Yeah, but it's all about keeping your integrity and managing to stay the course over the long run, you know?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. I tell people all the time because I don't know for some reason recently in my last couple of interviews, people have been asking me, how do I feel, or do I feel it's a necessity to show my fans in the world that I'm different from other rappers? Now, you answer me this, Adam. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Hmm.
If you are genuine to who you are, regardless of what you got going on, whether it's church or a basketball game, people notice that you're different, right?
Hmm.
You don't have to go out on a limb every day, going live and spelling out I'm different. I do this. I don't do what he does and all that type. With your actions and how you carry yourself, and when people meet you, they'll know you not like them.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I do not feel it's important for me to fucking go live and tell people or show these people that I'm fucking I'm different. Yeah, my favorite color not just red, it's metallic red. Like, no, man. If I'm different, I'm different. And it shows through my music, through how I interact with people, through my interviews, all that. I don't feel that's a necessity at all. And I feel like a lot of people put themselves in bad positions by trying to prove something to these 8 billion people that's on Instagram that you only gonna get a chance to see 22% of it in real life.
For sure. Like, I mean, when I think about your career, I think about somebody asked me like recently, they're like, what do you think of the baby? I'm like, I think the baby's gonna be great because he's talented, he works hard, and he's
Yeah.
smart. He seems smart, and being smart is such a big part of the equation because if you're smart, then you're gonna realize when you need to switch up the shit that you're doing, and when the shit that you're doing that was hot is getting old, et cetera, et cetera. And I would say the exact same thing about you is that you seem like you work your ass off. You're talented musically, and then you just seem like just the intelligence to be able to like you can hear the intelligence in the music, but also it just makes me feel like you're gonna know what the right steps are to take in your career, and it's just obvious to me that you've got a long term plan here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I got a lot of goals. I got a lot of shit that I want to do, that I want to put into motion, and and it's only gonna happen if I keep on working how I work. But yeah, I got a whole lot of shit. Like I want restaurants. I want my own basketball gym. I want my own swimwear because of my nickname, Scuba. You know what I'm saying? I feel like people will buy that shit up.
Wait, you got a
I got
restaurant?
no. I want a restaurant. I used to cook.
Oh.
I used to cook for a living before I was a rapper.
Oh wow, really? That's interesting. What kind of restaurants you work at?
I worked at two 5-star restaurants in Detroit. One was Seldom Blues. The other one was Joe Muir. I worked at my uncle's barbecue restaurant for a while. That was like the last restaurant I worked at. I worked at a place called Harbor House. And I done had every position in the restaurant, dishwasher, busboy, bar back, sous chef.
That's hard work right there. That'll give you a work ethic right there, huh?
I hated being a dishwasher. I ain't gonna lie, Adam. That's the worst shit in the world. Like whenever I smell, like, cause like all kitchens and shit, like unless you work in the kitchen, they all smell the same. The equipment, everything.
Yeah,
So like
100%.
whenever I smell it, I get like flashbacks and shit, and that shit be fucking me up. It be fucking me up. I'll be mad as hell. I see like the fucking grease traps. You used to have to see the grease traps out there and pour the grease in the alley and this all that shit, man. It made me real appreciative of what I can wake up and do now.
You know, but one thing that I think of when I think about that is that like when Action Bronson was first coming up, he was doing little YouTube videos where he was doing cooking, like because he worked at a restaurant too. He was a chef, and then he sort of transitioned once his music hit off to like having a TV show on Vice, doing the
Yeah, what
food
was it called?
thing.
Like that's fucking delicious or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's his show and everything. Would you ever see yourself doing like because food content on TV goes crazy? I feel like you doing like your version of that could be a big thing.
I did just recently with Cinematic TV. I did their cooking show. I made the hood nigga tacos for him and shit, and it went good. And it really was surprising them because I was getting high the whole time. Like I'm smoking weed, I'm pouring up my drink in the kitchen, and everything. And it just was fucking them up that I still was doing what I was doing, like walking into a bubblegum. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? Like I'm so comfortable in the kitchen. The shit went by fast as hell. I always planned on doing that anyway, Adam. I promise you. Like that's something for sure in the future that's going to be on my YouTube content. I'm gonna have a cooking show where I just make shit as I go. 'Cause I don't have recipes. You know what I'm saying? I roll my weed up, I get high, I get hungry, I go to the grocery store, I see shit that pop out to me, and I just take it home and throw it in the pot
You just freestyle it? That's amazing.
at all times. Like the probably only real recipe I got is like fucking lobster scampi or like an Alfredo. That's it. I know how to make that shit from scratch. But everything else, impulse and seasoning and what I know from being in the kitchen goes together.
See, I got to get my priorities right because in my mind, I never end up cooking anything because it just feels like, oh, like I would rather just, order this shit on Postmates. And if I go to the store and buy this shit, yeah, maybe I'll
Listen,
have some
you want me to
fun.
tell you why you should cook? Because I watch you, right? And you got the little ball wood thing that you do, right? With your hand. I don't
Yep.
know what the fuck that shit is. But you like the best nigga I done seen doing it, right?
I got to give you one. Give me your address. I'll send you one.
I'm gonna text it to you when we get off the phone. Now
All
listen,
right.
your hand-eye coordination. You would make people watch you just because you would be able to do the flips and shit with the skillets. Like I know how to do the flips and shit with the skillets and keep the food in there.
I could be
You
like
would be
Salt
able to
Bay.
do that.
Like
Yeah,
Salt
you
Bay,
would be
this
able
thing?
to do this shit. You would be able to flip this shit because of your hand-eye coordination, and people will watch it, bro. And if you was to, and you just include a little music in it, you feel me? Or like, nigga, listen, me and you could go laugh together and cook together. You feel me? I promise you, whatever the fuck, and look at the dishes when they done. We do the same thing.
I like that idea. Adam 22 versus Sada Baby Burger Challenge. We both make the same
Hell
recipe
yeah.
at the same time, and then we sort of like show it to the camera, have people at home judge.
What you want to do? Set it up, brother. I'm with
I
that.
don't know how to cook, but I'm willing to give it a shot for you, man.
A burger is easy. I promise you.
Burger, I could probably pull off. Yeah, if I try to do any kind of pasta or some shit, hell no, that ain't gonna work.
Now look, this the thing with pasta that most people don't know. You know you don't have to get the kind that come in the box that you boil. Right?
Right.
They got frozen pasta like frozen tortellini, all that type of shit. If you get that and boil it, it only take you about 5 minutes. That's fire.
Okay.
That's fire. That's big fire. And you add your Parmesan or your, you feel me? Whatever kind of sauce you want. If you ain't a fan of tomato, get you some squash sauce. Yeah. Look, we just made somebody cook
Hey,
while I'm on live.
you're putting me onto some shit right there. I like it.
On the live interview, kicking ass on 2K2. Just made some motherfuckers quit. But no, listen. The frozen pasta is the way to go.
Hey, let me ask you this question. You're
What's up?
very in tune with the streets. I've heard people say that like crime is not really going up because it seems like in a time period like right now where everybody's under a period of distress or whatever that people actually tend to behave better and not necessarily do fucked up shit. Do you feel like people who are in the streets are seeing this as an opportunity where they're going to have to go out and take something or go out and do something because maybe there are less people around? Am I accurate in assuming that there's probably a lot of guys who are planning like bank robberies right now?
You know some bullshit. um, it's crazy, man. Like, as serious as people should just be taking this virus, trying to stay clean and fucking think of possible shit to do that they can get on their feet when they get back. it's still that population that don't give two fucks about what's going on.
Yeah.
And fuck planning to do shit. Motherfuckers already been doing shit, bro. Motherfuckers been just breaking in Starbucks and taking all the coffee beans, like just doing anything because ain't nobody there.
If you know someone who's breaking into Starbucks to steal the protein bars and the cheese plates and
No,
the
look.
biscuits,
It wasn't. I actually seen the story, and my most sincerity and prayers go out to the people. But it's a lady and her daughter. They had a cafe, and since the lockdown and the quarantine has been going on, they had got broken into 6 times,
wow.
6 times, to where they had to just shut down the cafe. Like we're not gonna be able to wait until the virus over. Like we just gotta shut it down because they broke in that motherfucker 6 times. Like yeah, motherfuckers out here still just doing whatever. Everybody, like I said, everybody don't have the opportunity to stay in their house and still get money. You know what I'm saying? There's motherfuckers that still got to go do shit. And the way they was doing shit before this virus came was illegal and raw and raunchy. And it's just gonna be times five. Now that you feel me, damn near police not trying to pull you over because they don't want to get infected.
Damn, I didn't even think about that, dude. Everywhere I go, I feel like, because I thought like, oh, the virus hit, there ain't that many people around, like shit's gonna be more chill. No, I feel like I see way more cops and there's less people around. So the cops that I do see, like I feel like I stand out to them way more than I would normally.
Man, the other day, uh, it was police stopping people and waiting and like asking, like here in Detroit, stopping them and asking them what they was on the way to. Like just trying to make sure motherfuckers ain't out joyriding, still trying to turn up and all that.
Yo, it's gonna be like the prohibition era back when they had alcohol legal, where I feel like because people aren't gonna be able to go to the club, you're gonna see a lot more house parties. I hear it in my neighborhood, bro. I hear music on like a late at night and shit, like real loud, and I can tell that people are having little get-togethers with, I don't know, maybe 10, 20,
No,
30 people coming together.
they are having get togethers. I got homies down in Memphis, and we playing the game and shit, and we as we in the party, like in the Xbox party, he telling me it's 40, 50 motherfuckers in his parking lot in the apartment complex just kicking it outside.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers barbecuing, all kind of shit. So it's whole states and whole neighborhoods of people that just not taking this shit serious.
No,
Like
I
I
have a
remember
friend.
the stats. Go ahead.
I have a friend who, for lack of a better term, he's a drug dealer. And I asked him, I'm like, yo, so this shit must be killing you. Have to stay in the house, huh? He goes, what? He's like, the only people staying in the house are white people and those who have to work with the elderly. I was like, damn, I guess you might have a point.
He not lying because I still been having to get my weed delivered.
I'm still going out and riding my bike around. I'm still like going into work and being around like 2, 3 people at the office. You know, it's like there's a certain amount that you just got to be around some people. I'm sorry. You got to just pick your poison and choose wisely.
Yeah, I had my cousin. I had two of my cousins and one of my security guards and my two baby cousins the other day. You feel me? Just to, you know what I'm saying, kick it for a while, and you know, it's like you know I get it from these motherfuckers. I get it from. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you do need to see people and all that type of shit. This is, mm. I know I ain't going outside though. Like I ain't pulling up nowhere. I ain't doing no quarantine parties or no fuck the corona pull ups. None of that. I ain't going to hoop.
Well, you're kind of in a different position too because you're famous. So it's like if you are acting foolish, then it's like you're influencing millions of people. So the media could like try to say like not only is Sada Baby doing something ignorant, he's doing something ignorant and encouraging all these other people to do it.
They call me corona protagonist or something.
There you
Some
go.
shit like
I mean, they've been getting on Casanova's ass just because he was shooting a music video with like 8 dudes.
I know Cass personally. I really pray to God he gonna sit the fuck down.
He
Like,
apologized though.
like that's my guy. But when he was out saying with all the niggas, I'm just like,
But we know a lot of people who are doing the exact same thing that he's doing right there. It's just the fact that he's famous
not
enough.
rappers. Yeah, they not famous. You right.
Yeah.
Like I was on group FaceTime with my cousins the other day, and we laughing the Hardy Hearn, and then I looked in the back. I'm like, all you motherfucking niggas is outside. Why y'all not in the house? I'm about to go now, Scoob. I'll shoot one move, Scoob. I'm about to go. It's just
Dude,
like, come on, y'all gotta get it together.
but the
Y'all gotta,
crazy part is that people know that it's serious right now, so it's kind of easy in comparison to get them to stay inside. You give it a couple more weeks and months, and when the shit starts to slow down, people are going to be outside all over again, and it's going to come right back. I'm worried about that.
I feel like as quick as you right. I feel like as quick as it came out of nowhere, it's come back out. And I feel like people would be all the way just boogieing and next to each other, and sweat popping off each other, and we don't even know it's present again. And then they try to lock us back down, and it'll be too late because a bunch of motherfuckers got it and we didn't know it was back. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild. I just feel like after this shit is over with, whenever it's over with, it'll never really be over for a motherfucker like me because I'm gonna start doing shit different. You know what I'm saying? Like a motherfucker should have been just disinfecting everything. Like when you walk in, you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I might be done shaking hands for life. I think it's cold for shaking hands, man. I don't really like, now that I haven't shook anybody's hands in a few months, I'm like, am I really going to go back to like wiping my fucking bacteria all over other people all the time? That's just getting crazy.
Yeah, we either go, it's gonna be fist bumps for life, and then I'm gonna have to have baby wipe hand sanitizer. Like,
Hopefully the hand washing stays, that can remain part of the culture.
What?
Just the hand washing. Hopefully that like there's increased washing levels.
Yeah, like how certain places got the no smoking signs and shit like that. They should have like a sink and hands right at the door. Yeah, you can't come in unless you wash your hands.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that like 20, 25 years ago, it was super normal to walk into a restaurant and have everybody smoking in there. And now that seems crazy to us.
Motherfuckers forget that. I remember walking in Red Lobster, smoking and non-smoking.
It would be a smoking section and a non-smoking section, but there would be nothing separating them.
It's like the booths right here and then the booths right next to you. And the only difference is this booth got an ashtray.
Yeah. Now you only really get that in Vegas.
Huh?
You only get that in Vegas now when you go to the casino. That's the only time. But even then, they got really good air systems.
Vegas is the only fucking place where they still got ashtrays in the hotel rooms. Like, I love that shit. I smoke so as soon as I get to Vegas, I just like try to prove a point to myself. I just smoke everywhere in that bitch. Everywhere.
Smoke a Newport. Just smoke a Newport. Yeah, like, whatever. Fuck it.
What? Because I still smoke cigarettes, so motherfucker. As soon as we get out the little limo from the fucking airport or whatever, oh, I'm right at the front desk, cigarette in hand. That's where you gotta go, bullshit. This is a big ass casino. It's smoking here.
I can do it. Exactly. It's like I can do it. You know, like if I went to Colombia, I don't know. I might have to do a little white girl. You know, it's like when you're in Rome, right?
I ain't fucking with no flow when I get over there.
No.
If somebody around, you feel me? That's what they into. You feel me? Go ahead. You gonna turn up. I know when I get with my Mexicans, they make me drink. So I don't drink liquor. I used to drink. I don't drink. So I give my Mexicans all type of bucana, pineapple, and fucking Modelo's, Clamato, and just man. They probably real essayed out with this.
For sure. Yo, Sada, I appreciate you. Our camera, I think, is fucking up right now. Actually, it looks pretty cool. It looks like you're in a Nintendo game.
Pixel? They got me Pixel School?
Yeah, you all pixelated. This is pretty hard, though, honestly. It looks like a fire-ass music video effect or something.
How they look?
It's pretty lit. You might want to check this out. This might be a good inspiration for your next music video.
Hell yeah. I might use this at the beginning of one of my next videos.
There you go. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Everybody go stream Sada Baby shit, man. He needs that streaming check. You got to fatten that Spotify check up, huh?
I appreciate you making this shit happen. You know, we've been trying for a couple months, bro. I appreciate it, for real.
Yeah. And once the world's back to normal, we'll get a real one in.
Yeah, we gonna set up the damn burger off too.
Let's get it. All right, I appreciate you, man.
Have a good one. Stay
appreciate
safe.
you, Sada.
Love, bro.
Love, G. Take care. NoJumper.com. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want one of these, you know where to go. And then No Jumper Facebook too. Link is down in the description. Some good stuff going on over there. Appreciate y'all watching this.